The song I chose to speak about is Hillsong's Cornerstone. I chose it because I believe that Jesus needs to be the cornerstone or backbone of everything that we do. Everything that we do needs to be reliant on Him. We shouldn't be making decisions or choices without going to Him first in our lives. I think in a lot of things we don't put Him first, we don't place Him where He needs to be. The supporting verse that I chose is Colossians 2, verse 6. Therefore, as you receive Christ Jesus the Lord, so walk in Him, rooted and built up in Him, and established in the faith, just as you were taught. So just as it says that we're to be rooted in Him, I believe that we should have Him as our backbone, as our crutch that we rely on, that we need to help us move forward.
I chose At the Cross by Hillsong Worship, Galatians 2:20. I have been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life I now live in flesh, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave Himself for me. The chorus says, at the cross I bow my knees, where your blood was shed for me. There is no greater love than this. The song calls us to go to the cross and bow our knees to Him.
So the song that I chose to do is called Build My Life by Housefires. So I chose this song because I really like the bridge. And I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you, and I will not be shaken. I really like that because that's my motto for life, and how each and every day I want to make sure that I'm rooted in Christ and that my foundation is built on Him.
Oh, Come to the Altar, and it's a song about God calling us back to Him, and also a song of praise, I guess. It's super interactive too, because at the beginning in the first verse they sing a bunch of questions to you. So it goes like, are you hurting or broken within? Yes. Overwhelmed by the weight of your sin? And then Jesus is calling. And then you go to the chorus, which goes like, oh, come to the altar, the Father's arms are open wide. So I was just thinking, like, isn't this crazy? Like, Jesus is calling us right now, as we are right now, the way we are with our hurting and broken self, and with open arms as well. So Revelations 3:20 says, here I am, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person and they with me. So I'd love to tell you the whole story of how Jesus came knocking on my door, and about how much hurting and brokenness went on or is still going on in my life, and how Jesus accepted me with open arms, and how He still is calling me to Him every day.
My favorite song right now is Do It Again by Elevation Worship. And one part of the song, the bridge, just says, I see you move the mountains, and I believe that I'll see you do it again. And if you look at like Hebrews 12 or Hebrews 11, where it just goes through like the hall of faith of how God has been so faithful to all these people, it just shows how God has been so good in the past, back in the Old Testament, all the way up till now. If I look at my life, God has delivered me from so many sins. He's delivered me from so many, I guess, like chains of just feeling like I was stuck, and God has delivered me through that. And so now I can say, going forward, when I do get kind of trapped in my sin again, which I will, I know that God will be able to deliver me, just because I've seen Him do it in the past, and I know He's going to do it again.
So the song that I chose was Devotion by Hillsong. And this song really jumped out at me because I've loved this song for a long time. But I've only recently felt God move in my life. So now when I listen to the song, when I hear it, it's like God is telling me a story to me about me. And it's so much better. It's so much better. So, I'll read some lyrics. When you stand, tall trees and mountains bow. When you speak, the fiercest of oceans is still. And I see sinners seek devotion, the lost become chosen, and I fall to my knees. Me being lost and chosen by God, the only response that I can have is to just fall on my knees. Like, I'm just going on to more lyrics. I will take up my cross and follow, Lord, where you lead me. I will take up my cross and follow wherever you go. So it's just like direct application to me falling on my knees. So taking up my cross daily, so reading my Bible, praying every day, being on my face every day, asking God for discernment, for guidance, for leadership over my life. Like I'm just giving my life to God. It's not my life anymore, it's God's life. I just have to give it to Him. Just me letting go of my life whenever I want for God's purpose, because God of the universe chose me, and I just gotta follow Him.
My challenge is, how are we going to go to the cross? How are we going to bow down to Him?
Is that, are you really making Jesus Christ your backbone, your crutch, your cornerstone? You see the cornerstone of your life?
Jesus is knocking a door, kind of like we see in Revelations 3:20. But will you open it? Will you open your heart to Him?
Are you pursuing Christ each and every day? Are you choosing to love Him more and more? And are you choosing to want to be more like Him and be rooted in Him?
If you're watching this right now, I know that God is calling in your life too. The fact that you're here at this concert or worship night proves that.
We need to be making choices and decisions that would make Him the cornerstone, that would make Him the crutch, the right hand for us.
Just dwell on His faithfulness, dwell on His goodness of how He has been so good to you and to other people, and just know that He will be able to deliver you again for the future times that you will fall, but God is so good.